Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video here on Cardano. Wanted to do a full update here. As I promised, I would cover Cardano a little bit more. I know quite a lot of you are interested in that, and I've covered Cardano for almost 3 years, I think, maybe already longer than that. So just wanted to keep you updated every time we have a significant move, which I think we had a significant move. If you remember the last, if you remember the last video I made on Cardano, what we said back then the price was around 71 cents. And what we said is that it was most likely that we would get consolidation down here, but that we would still ultimately fill the imbalance we had to the downside towards 65 and 64 cents. So last analysis was spot on. All right, because we knew that, the market was still, well, I wouldn't call it bearish, but the market was still quite shaky. There were quite a lot of fundamentals influencing the markets, and we knew we had a fair value gap all the way down to 64 cents. So overnight we dropped down below our main support level here at 68 cents, 68, 69. It's as you can see historically, it's a bit of a wider zone, filled the imbalance, and that makes the price action right now for Cardano quite relevant and also quite important, because what we need to see right now, and also what we talked about in the last video, is that, if Cardano is going to fill that imbalance, which we have now done, check, what you'd need to see for some bullish continuation is that we're relatively easily going to be able to reclaim this level right here between 70 and 68 cents. And so far that has not been the case. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to happen later, but that is the main thing we need to discuss, right? Because we need to reclaim this level with strength. If we want to see a continuation out of this balance right here into the next resistance zone towards 77 cents. Like, this is the best case scenario on the short term, right? And then from 77 cents, I'll make a new video and we'll evaluate all the price action we had, and then we'll talk about whether we can get into 82 cents, which would be the next level. But this is not certain, all right? And at this point of time, honestly, we have the FOMC tonight, the Federal Reserve interest rate decision tonight, which is usually a bit of a de-risking event, aka that you see some positions being closed into that, and that not a lot of impulsive moves happened before that. After that's always possible. I don't really see any fundamental metric or fundamental push behind Cardano that's going to cause that reclaim itself. And then outside of that, Bitcoin has been quite strong. Of course, overnight due to some good news coming in, but the volume so far this morning has been lackluster. So the volume itself we see right now, I don't think is strong enough to get continuation for Bitcoin. Which is what you'd want to see if you want Cardano to break out because of Bitcoin, because obviously one of the main catalysts or one of the main things pulling Cardano up is that strength from Bitcoin. And I don't see I see strength to go up a little bit higher for Bitcoin, but I don't see enough to break out, and we'd need breakout momentum from Bitcoin for Cardano to break out here. So for now, I'm going to have to tell you that short term for Cardano here, I'd say it's more likely that we will not be able to reclaim. I think the only way we can reclaim here with Cardano is with a strong market, all right? And a strong market is definitely possible, but me telling you that the market is going to be strong would be speculation, because that would be fully dependent on news, right? So the main tip I could give you regarding Cardano right now is keep your eyes on the news. Keep your eyes on the S&P 500, so the stock market. Keep your eyes on the FOMC meeting tonight. If we get some very positive data regarding that, then we can reclaim, get back into this balance, and then from this balance rally up to the next level. But if we're not getting that, and we should assume that we're not getting that, just to be safe, I'd say it's more likely that we'll reject here, and that we will stay in this consolidation down here on top of the main support level we have, around 63 and 64 cents. So do I expect us to drop down lower? No, but I do think it's most likely that after this breakdown we had in the last 2 days, it's more likely we'll find some stability a bit lower compared to the price action last week. But those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know for now. So if you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.